Okay, so you saw my stack of my cases from BCW, 4,000 current bags and boards. This is what I'm doing. I mentioned briefly in my last video, the What Sold on eBay video, that I was kind of working with my personal collection. And I'm actually not here to show you my personal collection, and this batch is kind of boring anyway. So unless you're into Gru, and I don't know why Gru brings out the hate in my comment section, but I take it there's a lot of not Gru fans out there. It's been 20 years since I've really organized it, and you can tell I need to rebag and board a bunch of stuff, and it's going to take me probably on and off most of this year to do it. That's okay, it needs to be done, but I wanted to go over why. And one of the things that you should change out, one of the reasons, I don't know if you can see that, hopefully it's coming through. One of the reasons you should change out your boards and bags every 5 to 10 years. This has a reverse image of the back of the comic. I don't even remember which comic it is. Here's another one. It just has the ad. And this one also has a reverse image on that one. That one you might be able to see a little bit better on that. And here's a new board. So if you at first glance you think, well, you know, it's a little darker but not that bad, but it is. And that's the acid from the paper and the ink and things that are leaching out. So these boards did their job. Definitely time to change. Back in the day, I don't know how to put it, there's a lot of different products, and some of them weren't as good as others. This one is a pretty good product. This is acid free, both sides. This is something that is not, but was often sold as a short-term board, but you don't want brown paper next to your comics or cards or anything paper related. Don't put the brown cardboard next to it. But that was an option. Here's another one. This is, it might be hard to see. This is acid free. Basically on one side it's got a buffer coating on it. And yep, and here's another one. And these were also temporary boards on this. So this is another temporary board, probably from the late 90s, and that was brown cardboard on one side and white on the other. Supposedly acid-free on that side. Here, this looks like a pizza box. I don't know if you can exactly see that, but it's kind of got that grease stain thing. You know, just a lot of different stuff. Now this one, so they had one that was called a buffered board, and what they did is they took cardboard and sprayed some type of calcium carbonate solution, and it would be kind of streaky and blotchy, but that was supposed to be your pH balanced buffer, and they just spray that on cardboard because I guess it must have been cheaper than acid-free cardboard. I really don't know, to be honest with you. So that's a weird little product. Haven't seen those temp boards in a really super long time. But when you compare them all, I'll do this again. Maybe this will show up if I can fan them all out here. I got some of them. To the more modern style, and you can just see the color difference on it. One thing I did notice though is these boards are a lot thinner than these old ones. So this is not as thick a cardboard. You can see it just flopping around. Then that one's pretty thin. Here's one. And then this one's a little stiffer. It doesn't, you gotta, anyway. So I've noticed the backing boards have thinned up quite a bit. One of the things you should probably go ahead and use, and I'm not promoting any brand, this is just the brand I have. I had to pay for these. They didn't give me nothing, so, you know, go buy something else. I don't care. But it's got the polypropylene on it. I think I threw them all away before I thought about it. But the old polyethylene bags, they kind of turn green or brown. A lot of acid content. These are acid-free at the time of manufacture. So you will see these advertised as acid-free bags, especially on the internet from like some off-brand import place, but it's acid-free at the time of manufacture. So what that means is when these things get old, they do break down. They usually get kind of a cloudy, white, filmy look versus the green or yellow or brown of the older polyethylene stuff. But still, you know, the polyethylene you wanted to change every 3 to 5 years. These will, I don't know, I've been pulling them off comics that I probably bagged 20 years ago, and they're actually in really good shape. But I want to switch to the resealable so I don't have to do tape. And if I got to do the boards, I figured you might as well freshen up the bags. That's the low cost part of doing that. But do look for polypropylene. Again, I haven't seen polyethylene for a super duper long time, but there may be some out there, so check on that. But if it does say acid free on the polypropylene, it's acid free at the time of manufacture. So sunlight hits it, you know, that UV light, heat, temperature changes, winter, summer, fall, you know, if it's not climate controlled, that's all stuff that will break it down. So just so you're aware, something I don't use, and I haven't seen too much of, there must be out there, and this is an old board, you can see it's dark, but you hear, here I'll put it next to the mic, that crinkly stuff. This is called a Mylite. And this is a Mylar bag. It's really super thin, crystal clear. This is archival, which means it basically doesn't break down in our lifetime and then some. It tears easy, it wrinkles easy, doesn't offer a lot of protection because it's really flimsy. So if it's something you have some readers, you know, you're taking it out of the bag or whatever, honestly, these aren't very durable. So most people, if you're using archival stuff, that's what this is. This does have a fresh board in it. This is 2 mil, so it'll still, but it's not as crinkly, wrinkly as the other ones. And again, these are acid free and remain acid free. They don't break down. They're Mylar, which is it's a clear vinyl. So it's actually not super different from the vinyl they use on vinyl records. That's obviously thinner, but pretty much the same product. You can just see through it. It does last a super long time. Well, it's up to you guys, but if you're going Mylar, this one has a flap, and it's not resealable, so you have to tape it, or what I do, because they're pretty stiff, is you can take it in there and just kind of crease it, and then if you put it in with something else, then it's not a problem. They do have open top Mylars. They've been around a long time. The reason for that is you can shave off a corner of a comic by putting it in a Mylar, especially like a 4 mil, which is twice as thick as this. I don't use them. I haven't had any for ages. But if you're sliding a comic in like a 4 mil, you can cut yourself. Like a really bad paper cut. You can shave off the corner of a cover and pages. So I don't know, it's kind of pick your poison on that. I don't really care for the flap that much, because on the older books, and most of the time, you know, this is Silver Age size, I'm using stuff that's 50 plus years old, you know, for comics. It does have to breathe. So you don't want to seal it tight, because as comics, you know, they decompose, they get old, they age, they give off gases. It's called off-gassing, and that's why CGC and other grading companies use a semi-permeable membrane. So basically it doesn't, you know, blow up, right? Like a balloon. So Mylar is not semi-permeable, not generally anyway. And so the stuff you're buying, you know, just make sure you don't seal it up so tight it can't breathe a little bit, is what I'm trying to say there. But good stuff. This is one I use for my more valuable stuff in my collection. You still have to replace the board, so just because it's in Mylar does not mean that board is going to last forever. If you use 4mm Mylar sleeves, they're stiff enough. I don't even use a board with those. I just don't use them much anymore, and they're very cost prohibitive. They are not cheap. I think my wholesale, how many are in here? 50? Yeah. So 50 bags of these. I think my wholesale cost was like between $40 and $50 without shipping on it for 50. So it's just to warn you. Make sure your comics are valuable, because it will rack up a bill in a hurry. And I put, oh, let's see. I use the Futurama one here. I just replaced the bag and board on this one. I kind of like the resealables. I don't have to mess with tape, which, you know, catch on the covers, it melts into the bag and tears and doesn't release. These still have a bit of a danger. The adhesives on this, it used to be on the flap a long time ago. They put the adhesive up here. Well, you know, you'd pull it out and it'd stick, right? The book, put it in, put it out. So they moved it to the back, works a lot better. You can still damage a comic. You don't want to set one on that adhesive once that thin strip's been pulled off. I really don't have any more problems with this than I do with the tape. And well, I just never liked tape around the comic. Too many bad experiences. So I want it all resealable, and that's part of the reason I'm doing this. And the other part is, after 20 years, I've got a mess. I didn't even remember I had that book, to be honest with you. And I guess that's probably about, yeah, that's a Golden Age size. Probably about it as far as that goes. On the supplies, I just wanted to give you a quick video, kind of what I'm doing. If you want to see more, have any more questions about the storage, supplies, you know, bags, boards, whatever, just let me know in the comment section, and I'll answer you as best I can. So that's it for now, and thanks for watching.